Thank you for checking out New Idealism. What is the point of talking about metaphysical idealism? It's not about learning something new. It's actually about unlearning a false belief that we already have, that most of us have to some extent, because we live at a time of dogmatic materialism. Dogma is beliefs that we haven't thought to question, beliefs that we haven't noticed are unfounded, but we just accept them because they're at the foundation of all the other beliefs. Modern materialism is like that. We talk about idealism because that's the fastest way to have this insight that dispels the illusion that we're under as modern people. Our generation has dogmatic beliefs, just like every previous generation. Stuff that we just deeply believe is true. And we think it's silly to question it. Looking back through history, every generation had stuff like that. And every generation also thought that their generation was the one that finally had it figured out. Now, it's funny if we fall into the same trap, thinking that the way that we see reality is basically correct. Our idea that, most people try to pretend to be very sensible and agnostic, like they haven't jumped to any conclusions. But the thing is, we all are drawn to certain conclusions based on materialist assumptions, based on the idea that physical matter is primary and fundamental. And when we have our deepest assumptions informed by that kind of idea, which is the way it is for people who live at our moment in history, that leads to what is called nihilism. And it's at the root of all of our biggest problems. When you zoom out and look at these three schools of thought in metaphysics, materialism, dualism, and idealism, it looks like materialism was kind of a knee-jerk reaction to figuring out very recently that religious dualism wasn't exactly where it's at. And so we graduate away from religious dualism, but then materialism is not exactly where it's at either. Anyone who has already decided that human life doesn't have any value, or anyone who deeply believes that everything is ultimately pointless, but you do it anyway for the hell of it, anyone who feels that way has arrived at some kind of conclusion. And all of us are somewhere on a continuum between idealism and materialism. The stuff we learn about at newidealism.com will help to dispel the illusion of 21st century materialism to some extent, so that you can move in the direction of idealism with some of your deepest sensibilities. And that might make a dramatic difference in the way that some people experience every day. Learning about these cool concepts from philosophy and science can elicit an insight, and then an insight informs the intuitions, and the intuitions determine how we experience every day. So this is like a chiropractic adjustment for our deepest intuitions. Suddenly, something that seems so obvious doesn't seem so obvious anymore. The idealism insight changes everything, and it gives us the tools we need if we want to make some other people feel better at the times when they need it most. Check out some of the videos at newidealism.com and break free from mainstream metaphysical materialism.